Waiting patiently. Jacqueline needs a napkin.
Yeah.
Mommy has that on. I got you.
Did you drop some?
I got a call from the foster care placement agency, a place to call home. They called me on a Thursday afternoon and said, Susan, would you take a little boy who just turned 3? He's in the hospital, he has a respiratory infection, and he has heart complications. And I said, sure, and went and picked him up, and that's the afternoon I met Jacob. I saw him in the hallway walking with his aunt, and he had a pacifier in his mouth and was toddling like an 18-month-old, just learning how to walk. And I didn't think this was the little boy I was coming to pick up because I was told he was a 3-year-old. And then the nurse said, this is him. And I was really surprised because he was, first of all, so small, but secondly, obviously very delayed in his development. He didn't know how to share toys. He would just grab something from one of the other kids and scream if he wanted something. So the first days were difficult in those ways. So the school district, when he turned 5, said he needs to be placed in kindergarten, either in special needs kindergarten or regular classroom. And my concern was that Jacob would be so overwhelmed by the newness of the classroom environment that he wouldn't really be able to attend to a teacher in a typical kindergarten classroom. And so he wouldn't really be able to learn what the teacher was trying to instruct. He would be too busy learning about his environment and about peer interactions. The school district said that at 5 years old that I couldn't place him in preschool with his IEP. And so I challenged them on that. I said, I believe that the law says that he can be placed in the best environment, the environment that's best suited for him. And, we went back and forth on that, and finally I said, okay, I would like you to show me the instrument that you use to evaluate Jacob to make the determination that either kindergarten or special needs kindergarten is going to be the most appropriate placement for him. And then they said, well, we'll have to call you back on that. And when they called me back, they said, we've decided that Head Start's going to be the best place for him, but you probably can't get him in there because of his age. And I said, well, let me work on that part. And so then I called the Head Start office and I talked to a variety of people there in family services and program services to make sure that this is something that could happen. And everybody worked together and got it worked out.
When he came into the school, he wasn't sure of himself. At least he didn't know how to get along with others. He was very shy. He stuck to himself, and the interaction with other kids has really helped.
Jacob was very excited to go to school. The whole experience of riding the school bus and being in a classroom with other children was just huge to him. And at first he stayed very close to Addie's side and was a little hesitant to kind of put himself out there with the other kids.
So if it's time in the morning for mealtime, we do what we call incidental teaching, and that's when we set it up so that while the teacher's on the rug and one's assisting children in the bathroom with hand washing. The teacher on the rug sends children that might be a little bit shy, and we pair them off at the round table, at a table with the ones that are more talkative.
And as the weeks went by, you could see that he was kind of taking more and more risks with interacting with the other children. And I think he still likes to sit next to Addie during their circle time. But you can see that when they have their playtime, he's right out there with everybody else.
Jacob doesn't have any idea that he's got problems. I mean, honestly, he is so much in charge of his world. And whether it's the hat he's wearing, I mean, after you meet him, you'll know what I mean.
And for Jacob, I've learned that a child that came so close to death can still be so filled with life. And, you know, the doctors still don't see Jacob as a child who will have a long life, but at least he'll have a good life.